Okay, here we go. So step one, make sure to block the tire with a chunk of wood and kick it in good and tight before you lift your car up so it won't roll back. Make sure you put the piece of wood on the opposite side of the side you're working on. Okay, now I'm going to take you and show you where the jacking point is on this car. Here we go. So now I'm under the car and you can see right here, there's this point. And there's these 2 points here. That's your jacking point where you want to put your jack under there. There's also another one down here. If you're lifting the rear passenger side, you want to use that one. If you're lifting the front passenger side, you want to use this one. So put your jack under there, and once you've got that under there and jacked the car up, you can place your jack stands under here. Just show you the front of the car, just behind the tire. You can see that there is a plate here, and that plate is a good spot to put your jack stand. Okay, and you got the car jacked up, remove the front wheel, and in behind that nice Volvo emblem, that's where the nut is. Once you take those 5 lug nuts off, you got a nut inside there to remove, and then it's pretty much straightforward from there. Alright guys, so we were just outside looking under the car, and you got your tires blocked, you got your lug nuts loose, and you've got the car jacked up in the air. Of course, jack stands underneath to secure it, to make sure it's safe. Never get under a car that's just supported by a jack, extremely dangerous. Make sure you've got that thing up on jack stands and secure, and the wheels, parking brake set, wheels locked with something so that nothing happens. Anyway, so once you've got your wheel off, it's a 14mm bolt there that secures the CV axle to the hub. So take that out, take out the 2 bolts that support the knuckle. There's 18mm and 21mm, get them out of there. And then you also have the carrier bearing, which also holds the CV axle in, and those are 12mm. So take those 2 out, and then basically just a couple tugs, you'll get that CV axle right out. Pop the new one in, put it back together. Check out, there's a great video by 1A Auto on this. It's a 2002 S60 CV axle replacement. Check that out. Make sure you watch that first. It's really good. That's one of the ones I looked at before I did mine. And the biggest problem I had when I was putting it back together was making sure that I got the the actual hub assembly and rotor, etc., pushed back up into the knuckle, because the strut spring, somehow there was tension on it and it had twisted, and I think that was from probably the tie rod. There's a lot of pressure, tension from the tie rod, and it kind of turned it. So I had to basically use a pry bar to kind of support that and be able to twist it back so I could push the whole rotor assembly and hub back up into the knuckle so I could do up those 2 bolts. So I hope that helps you out a bit. Anyway, get into it, try it, watch those videos, and then get after it and see if you can get it done. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. Send me a message, put something in the comments. I'll do what I can. Anyway, next video we'll be talking about the camshaft and crankshaft seals and how to replace those, and we'll do what we can to help you out. My car's running great. Put on maybe 500 kilometers so far. No oil leaks. It's been a few thousand since I replaced the CV axle, and it's doing awesome. So anyway, take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Welcome back to Rick's Car and Bike, and hopefully you've got your new axle in there. The hardest part for me of this job was actually being able to get that axle back in there, because the spring had moved, it had turned, rotated, so I had to rotate that back to be able to get the axle in properly. But once I got that in, it was fantastic. Anyway, check out 1A Auto has a great video on this. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, but they've done a great job showing a video of how to replace that axle. But like I said, the hardest part was getting that hub assembly back into the axle, or back into the actual knuckle, because it had rotated from the spring tension on it from the shock and strut. So could be something you face. I ended up using a pry bar to get it back in and get the bolts back in, but once I did that, it was good to go. You know, every job you learn something, right? And that's what it's all about. So again, check out that video on the CV axle replacement from 1A Auto. That'll help you out. Okay, I hope that helps. Anyway, have a great day, and talk to you later. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down there, and tell me about the job you did. If you did this job, what was the hardest part for you? Was it easy? Any tips you can share would be awesome. And check out my other videos. Coming up, the next one is going to be camshaft and crankshaft seal replacement. I'll be talking about that and pointing out a couple videos that I watched that were really helpful to me as well. In getting that job done again, and it's, you know, another multi-$1,000 repair that you can do yourself. It's actually not that hard. It was the first time I did it, and I was surprised by how simple it was, really, with the right time, tools, and some technique. Right, it all worked out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.